Hello, everybody. This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. I'm Willie Tiny, and this is my host, L.A. Willie.
L.A. Willie, yeah.
Let's
How's
hit our
everybody
intro
doing?
music. We're going to hit our intro music.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
Welcome to 316 Day. The one
Oh,
that made it
hell
all.
yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. The
Yeah.
one who made it possible, Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin. We thank you and we appreciate this day. I look forward to this day just like Christmas. How about you, L.A. Willie?
I look forward to it also. And didn't realize it was 316 until a few customers brought them up today at my job. And I just kept saying, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, anything you want to talk about to get this started?
I would just want to go back to my favorite Austin 316 moment was when he brought out the beer truck.
That
That
was
was
a
my
great
all,
moment.
that's my old time Stone Cold moments. I said there's many, but that's my number one right there.
Well, let's get into this before. All right, I'm so excited. Let's see if we can get some. Let's try to invite some guests here. Give me a moment.
For all the true 316 fans out there, right now in Peacock, they have the Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 collection available to stream.
Right, and they also got a sale on www.shop.com, and it's 31.6% off.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out after this.
Right now I am putting the invite on our Facebook page. The invite's there. Now I'm going to go to our YouTube channel. I'm going to put the invite on there.
Yep. Yeah, let's get all of our Austin 316 fans out there to join in.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to make a comment. Oh. I don't know why I can't make a comment. Well, if you go to our Facebook page, it's on there.
Like, click on the link and join us.
I don't. I just. Yeah, it's not letting me do it. But, yeah. Austin 316. Let's go back, starting the early days I can remember of stunning Steve Austin in WCW in the Dangerous Alliance, managed by the one going in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I only known a little bit of his character from back in the day, just a couple clips here and there, but I didn't know until I saw Steve Austin's first VHS video that was released of his collections, how he got started. Yeah, I just remember him from just showing up on WWF at the time, and King of the Ring, and the day 316 was born.
When he was in WCW, stunning Steve Austin, he was tag team partners with Brian Pillman, known as the Hollywood Blondes.
The Hollywood Blondes, yep. And it was just so strange just seeing him with just like nice hair.
That's
you're like
correct.
that's not him.
Yeah. Yeah, that blonde hair, and then he made his way to. He was in ECW, also still stunning Steve Austin. That's where he had
Yeah,
long blonde hair, very
long
long.
blonde hair. Yes.
He cut that infamous promo on the ladder, just trashing other companies he was with.
That's the way to do it. He had that it factor, that edge, yeah, to propel his career. Yeah.
And then a little later on, he
Hmm.
he found his way back into the WWF at the time. He entered the King of Ring 1995, if I'm not mistaken.
Believe so.
That sound right? And that year, let's hold that thought.
96.
Let's welcome our other host, Will the Thrill, 1996. Okay,
Yeah.
there goes Will the Thrill.
Will the Thrill.
What?
Welcome. So glad you could join us.
What?
We're just getting started.
What?
8
I'm
minutes
happy
ago.
to be here. I'm happy to be here. Happy 316. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Give me a hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
How's it going?
It's,
Oh hell yeah!
it's going. It's
So-
going.
Go ahead.
Now go ahead. You were speaking. I just hopped on. I don't even know what the heck y'all were talking about. Just 96 was the answer.
Yeah. Well, I went back and I started remember the early days of Steve Austin, stunning Steve Austin in WCW in the Dangerous Alliance, and he had a tag team partner, Brian Pillman, known as the Hollywood
I
Blondes.
thought they were the Hollywood Blondes.
And
Correct.
correct, yes. And then he went to the ECW, and he cut the infamous promo on a ladder, trashing the other companies he was with.
Classic.
And then in '96 he entered the King of the Ring, and the favorite to win the King of the Ring was Jake the Snake Roberts, and he was known then as the Ringmaster, and the Ringmaster
Yes.
Steve Austin beat Jake the Snake Roberts in the finals to become King of the Ring, and at that time he was managed by the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase.
So and he had his infamous promo, winning King of the Ring victory promo on that platform with the throne. interviewed by Mr. Doc Hendricks, which was also Michael P.S. Hayes from the
Yes.
Freebirds. And he went on with his speech, but you can all say your prayers and thump your Bible, because Jake the Snake was big into being Christian at that time.
Hmm.
And he says, I don't give a rat's ass. You can kiss my ass.
Talk about the Psalms. Austin
Such-
316 says, I just whipped your ass.
Yes.
I just whipped your ass. And then it was on.
Hayes' look after he said that and how the audience roared was just phenomenal. And that's the
Phenomenal.
birth of Austin 316.
Yes. Yep, that same expression. Yeah.
Well,
Willie T had it exact right when he made the face.
Yes, he did. The birth of 316. And so many memories that came after that.
Happy 316 day. I got a couple of nice photos I'm going to share as we go along.
And around that time when the King of the Ring was around, that was like a good gauntlet match.
Yes, it was.
Like that tournament match was like back then really worth it. There was no breaks in between. I mean, there was breaks between for the stars, but as soon as that match was over, they had to go right back out for their match, and all in one night.
It was all its own pay-per-view.
Yep.
The tournament was held all in one night on the pay-per-view. In recent years past, have you guys celebrated 316 day?
I will say on occasions, not consistent, because the picture you just showed was the reason why I got back into wrestling after my grandmother's death. Because you said in '96, correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
Yeah, that was around the time when my grandmother passed, and wrestling was my grandmother's like pastime together. So when I got tuned in back into it, the whole NWO thing started in WCW, so I was really done. But to see someone who didn't care was feeling how I felt at the time, yeah, I just grasped Austin 316, and he was my favorite wrestler. And I didn't wear no vest, but I did have an attitude with people.
I mean, in '96, there were a lot of good wrestlers in that tournament. I'm checking out the bracket of, like almost forgot, like Vader was part of that bracket. Goldust, Ultimate Warrior, the Triple H when he first started, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Justin Bradshaw, Bob Holly. Like, there's so many names of like they were in that tournament.
Wasn't Savio Vega also in that tournament
Yes,
too?
yes, he fought Marty Jannetty in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Thank you,
then
Ellie.
Owen Hart was still around. Owen Hart Yokozuna was in the first round. Like there's a lot of classic, like Hall of Fame names in that bracket there.
Is there any ways you celebrate 316 day, LA Willie?
I have in the past a few times, and usually with my buddy Brian Davey, like he'll remind me, or we'll get like reminders on Facebook, like Happy 316 days that we have celebrated in the past. Yeah, I always make sure that I go on Facebook and I like reference 316 in some shape or form. It's like 316 is kind of like May the 4th, for Star Wars, so it's like 316 is always there.
Yep.
Like I said, today I didn't realize, so like halfway through the day I was like, oh, that's right, it's 316 day. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
I would celebrate. Always wear a shirt on 316. Austin shirts. Always drank a beer. Always.
Always. A Steve Weiser at least, yeah.
Steve Weiser. Yeah. And for the past couple of years since I bought this shirt that I'm wearing now, 316 day,
Hmm.
Big day.
and
Big day.
I've even though I wasn't supposed to, I wore it at work through the past 2 jobs I had, or 3. What,
Hmm.
how long ever I had this shirt? I don't know how long I had it, but
Yeah.
uh,
I've
always with
seen a
some Steve
couple.
wires.
I think earlier today I've seen a couple of like 316s Austin shirt for to commemorate like WrestleMania 40.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
like with
nice.
this green, with the Eagles colors and all that. I'm like, I may look into that after this podcast and check out that 316 sale.
Well, if you see it, LA Willie, let me know because that does sound intriguing.
I sure will. I'll send you a picture.
Have you guys ever tried any of his beer?
The
I
Steve
can't say.
Weisers.
No, the actual beer, just the Broken Skull
No.
IPA or American Lager, or there's a dark. I think it's a black can. I can't think it off the top of my head.
I'm not much of a beer drinker, but I would probably drink it just because it's his beer,
Just try it out.
just to try it out.
I've had the Broken Skull IPA. Wasn't bad. It was pretty good. And I also had the American Lager. Very good. It's like your well, the IPA is like a regular IPA, and it's not a bad taste. But if you're more like a Budweiser, Miller Lite guy, the lighter beers, you would like the American Lager better.
Well,
Okay.
speaking of beer, St. Patrick's Day is the next day, but shoot, we're all Irish
How
around
about
this
that?
time. How about
That's
that?
right.
Yep.
That's right.
It's a glorious
Well,
weekend. Yeah.
I hate to do. I just wanted to pop on and say hey to the other Wills, and I am going to sign off. Just do because I'm at work and I don't want to get too much in trouble. But I know some of the people in my department probably will.
We didn't hear that.
We didn't hear that.
Okay,
It's possible. It's
because
possible.
as you see, I'm in my room. So,
Yeah. We won't say exact location. I know where you're at, but well,
All right.
thanks for joining us, Will the Thrill.
I appreciate
peace,
that. Well,
love, and happiness.
good
Don't
day.
forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I think I said it all. All right. Bye.
all right. Take it
Thank
easy.
you.
It was good to see him on there.
Yeah. How about that time? How about the infamous feud between Rock and Austin?
It's like classic. Like they can have 10 matches and I would never get tired of that rivalry.
They faced each other 3 times at 3 different WrestleManias.
And it's funny how like, back to back years, like they flipped
Yep.
the script.
It was 14, 15, and 19.
I believe so. I know 14 and 15, the back to back years because they flipped
Yes.
script
And
and then one more time in 19.
also 15, WrestleMania 15 was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I like to bring up Philadelphia, mention Philadelphia a lot because hey, that's our hometown. That's where we're from.
No, we're Philadelphians no matter what.
I claim Delco.
Yeah. Big time Delco.
Oh,
Oh, man.
they had multiple. Their promos going back and forth. I think each time they wrestled each other, it took 3 finishers, either 3 rock bottoms or 3 stone cold stunners. Whoever got that third one was like the winner, the one who won.
Did it in threes, yeah.
It was always
I think one of the best moment from the rivalry was where he faked that he threw the belt over the bridge and then just tossed him over. The Rock threw the Rock over the bridge. I mean, the Rock over Stone Cold.
How about that time they were battling on the bridge, fighting each other, and they threw over.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing to. I think they threw the Smoking Skull belt over,
Yes, yes.
and then knocked him over. Yes, that was one of the greatest rivalry in his career.
For sure. Ed says, "Yo, how you doing, Ed? Thank you for
Hey.
joining."
Hey yo,
What about the time? Let's see here. There's so many moments.
well, he is one of only a few people that have won the multiple rumbles, especially like back-to-back years. Yeah.
3. I believe he won 3 Rumbles.
3. Yep. You know, so for Cody to do that this year back to back, I was like, you're joining a small list there, yeah, especially with the man himself, Stone Cold.
Trying to get a little time, see if people pop up.
Yep. Another good moment was that probably would be my number 2 on the list is the Austin and Booker T feud at the grocery store.
Oh my God!
One of the
And he hits
funniest
him,
lines that one of the funniest lines that he come up with.
and the milk, the gallon of milk.
Yeah. What was that line again? It's like clean up on aisle and attack ass.
Here we go. Ed says a great one. The hospital visit with Mr. McMahon.
Yes.
And he also said the Booger T segment, like we
So,
just mentioned.
yeah, the hospital visit would be my number 3 there.
Yep. The hospital. Mr. Sacco. I think that was where Mr. Sacco was born.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Like I said, there's so many memories that Austin has made over the years. It's like, you really have to put your thinking cap on and just to, remember all of them.
There's another great picture.
Yes.
This is very last minute. We planned this like just little over an hour beforehand. So this is all off the top of our head.
Give or
So
take.
us time to collect our thoughts. Let's see. We have a guest with us.
What's up, bud?
How you doing? Let's see what your name is under. Take your comment off. Acknowledge E. Welcome. Welcome to the show, Acknowledge E.
Welcome, Acknowledge.
I wish I would have known you were doing this at 316 on Austin.
Hey. This was very last minute. Very last minute.
Very last minute.
I have to give a shout out to my boy Dan, who gave me the idea. She's like, "You're not doing one." I was like, "No, I'm a little busy today, but hey, thanks for the great idea. Thank you."
So what did I miss so far on the this show? So this is my practice run for the Phillies podcast.
That hasn't been released yet. That's in the works. Maybe there's a Phillies podcast coming soon. Stay tuned.
I let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah. Well, what would you like to say about Stone Cold?
So one of my memorable moments, and I guess it was because it was with my daughter, was when he stunned the entire New Day. And I don't remember what WrestleMania that was. I want to say 34 or 35. It kind of showed me that the cat's doing like weird shit. She jumped in. Now it got tangled in the thing. So it just showed that like he still had it. I love his podcast. And there's just like so many, but he, I think he was definitely attitude error. And he kind of was the anti-authority until he was the authority when he did, I think, probably one of the top 5, screw jobs in wrestling. And I was out of it for a little bit. But yeah, definitely Stone Cold is definitely, one of the who could ever forget when he said, when he won King of the Ring, Austin 316 just kicked your ass. That's just a classic. And it was just so in the moment. And it's one of the reasons I'm still kind of back into wrestling. Stone Cold was very integral into WWE's success, I think.
Very true. We touched that on the beginning of the episode, beginning of the show.
Definitely his battles
Anything
with.
else you would like to add?
Yeah, definitely the battles with The Rock and Booker T, Mr. McMahon. I think definitely he was the bad guy, but he was the good guy. I think he's one of the first people that I can remember where people actually cheered for the bad guy because he was a tough SOB. And that was actually the height of, if I remember correctly, the height of when the merch sales started really picking up was with Stone Cold. Everybody, no matter who you know, and even if they weren't in the wrestling, they had a Stone Cold skull shirt, 316.
Yeah.
You would see people, you'd be like, "Hey, WWE," and they're like, they have no idea. They just thought it was cool. And I think that's when the merch really took off. And I always say this about like NBA, that players should give Larry Bird and Magic Johnson part of their check. I think definitely the people today, especially whenever they get merch, they owe it all to Stone Cold because that's when merch started taking off. We used to do, I mean, I'm 55 and I remember making the cardboard belts, and that's what we had back in the day, growing up in the 80s. And it's just like, I think he's just was phenomenal for wrestling, still phenomenal for wrestling. But Bill, I'm a big Kevin Owens fan, and like that was the one thing I loved, that Stone Cold came back and he basically said that was the only match he would ever have was Kevin Owens, and I know that made Kevin Owens, year. That is probably his biggest WrestleMania moment.
That was just 2 years ago.
Yeah, 38. Wow. Yeah, so. And then he stunned Pat McAfee, so that must have been a thrill for Pat McAfee. That was last year, wasn't it? After he fought Austin Theory?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Anybody that gets a stunner now is honored. They are very honored.
Definitely. And I don't remember too much of the Undertaker matches, and I wish I would have been there. And I'm not a big fan of the Undertaker. I know I get shit for it all the time, but it's probably something. I respect the Undertaker because I think my problem with the Undertaker, I know this is Stone Cold, but so much of the character changes where The Rock is always The Rock. He was Stone Cold was always Stone Cold. Foley was basically the 4 or 5 faces of Foley. But Stone Cold was always Stone Cold.
Now you brought up the Undertaker. What about the Undertaker's rival with Stone Cold Steve Austin?
That's what I'm saying. I was kind of away from it for a little while. I mean, I kind of was casual. I mean, watched every WrestleMania. I wish I probably would have a better appreciation for the Undertaker if I would have saw some of the feuds. But I did see The Rock. I did see. I'm trying to think, the couple of the Triple H rivalries that he had, and Stone Cold I think could work with anybody. Even like after the thing with when he had the match with Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens was like, "No, Stone Cold carried me," and we know that Kevin Owens carried him, but that much respect he had for somebody like Steve Austin, and I followed WCW back in the day, and I thought he was a tremendous wrestler then. And he just didn't get the push. A lot of stuff that WCW did that they just didn't do right. Like, I think they had the better product, they had the better talent, they just didn't know how to use people.
Right.
Kind of like AEW. Oops, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I had to take I think they got a lot of talent at AEW. They just don't.
They do.
They just don't use their people right, and the WWE does too. But the WWF has been around for so long that people are always going to gravitate to that, just like the NFL. Back years ago, Bill, there was a league called the USFL, the original, and they had a lot of talent. Guys came out of college and went to that, but they just compete with the NFL, and I think that's always going to happen with the WWE.
I want to go back to the point you made with The Undertaker. That classic moment when Undertaker crucified Stone Cold Steve Austin on his cross, the T cross.
Yeah, and that's something I probably missed. What year was that?
Oh my God, I'm bad on years now.
That was probably like 2000s. Yeah, that was. I was into it until about like 97, and like I said, I still watched all. And then I got out of it. And then my daughter got back into it in 2011, and since then I've been more than a casual, even where I watched some old Impact that's on the Fire Stick. But yeah, I think I would have more appreciation for The Undertaker if I would have seen him work with Stone Cold, because I think Stone Cold was just fantastic.
Yeah, the Austin being on the cross, that was during the Ministry of Darkness era in '98.
Oh, so I just missed it.
Yeah, yeah, because I remember that they did that live on TV. Yeah.
Go back and watch it. Go back and watch it.
I will. I'll ask Nemeth what he thinks.
Where's he at? He should come on.
He should come on.
Yeah.
He's the wrestling encyclopedia.
Wrestling guru.
I mean, another thing of Stone Cold is you can't forget his being a leader when he had the the ECW invasion.
Oh, and he just stunned everybody. Yeah.
Where we had the famous "Happy Birthday" song sang to him.
Yes.
So I hope that he makes an appearance. I'm going light to him, hoping that at some point, maybe he spoils Roman, maybe with the because we don't know what the bloodline rules are, but we know that that's what's going to happen. We know that they're going to try to screw Cody, which I hope they do. Because I find Cody a little bit boring, but I'm hoping that there's some really good surprises at Mania involving maybe Stone Cold, maybe not with The Rock, but for me, I think that would be something, because they had such a rivalry during the Attitude Era, and The Rock's The Rock and Stone Cold's Stone Cold, and I think bigger than Cena, because they tried to push Cena and The Rock, but it will never match with Stone Cold and The Rock.
I said, I'm hoping.
Yes, I love Cena, but I hope I don't see him at WrestleMania.
I mean, I'm hoping and I'm counting on him showing up at WrestleMania 40 in Philly. Yeah, because Philly is like his kind of town.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely back to Mania. I mean, there's so much stuff, Bill. I was looking at your schedule, and I was talking to Mike earlier and his schedule, and I'm thinking, man, I'm really dropping the ball. But then I'm like, wait, I'm going to night 2, and I took off for I can't miss the Hall of Fame. And I think there's going to be one or two that still should be there. I love the fact that Paul Heyman's getting inducted in Philly. I think that's very fitting. And I was a big EC Dub fan. Never went to a live event at the arena, but watched it and just like the shit that they used to do. And that was him. If I can share a story about with him, if you've ever seen it, where they just basically pirated like the entrance themes, and they said, you got to pay the artist for that. And he said, well, we don't have any money, so they can sue us all they want. So that was a great story to Paul Heyman have. Like he's badass, and now that Brock looks like he's back, so maybe Brock will be inducting him unless they have him and Punk do it.
Right.
You have any thoughts on that, guys?
It's a big possibility it could be Austin.
Yeah. I mean, I know they put Brock back on the roster, and so far there's no immediate plans to have him on TV, but that can always change, like from here to Hall of Fame weekend or even WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
And who knows? We might bump into each other on night 2. I'm going to both night 1 and 2 for WrestleMania.
Where are you sitting for night 2?
Section 109.
Oh, I'm 323. It's ridiculous how much the tickets are going for right now.
Yeah.
I know I got them. I got them on the pre-sale, but I got them off of TickPix, and when I paid $300 for a pair, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I paid that. I didn't even ever paid that for the Phillies,
Right.
and now they're going for like $500-$600. I'm like, oh my god, night 1 is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, this is once in a lifetime, thing, and I'm like, I said, I gotta break out the cash for this one.
Well, yeah. Well, I thought I broke out the cash when people were paying way more than that. My daughter said, "Well, Dad, you should sell them." I said, "This again, to your point, like this is once in a life. I'm just going to be happy that I paid what I paid for tickets that people are paying thousands of dollars for, and it's the experience." I was telling Bill this the other day. WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 3, I was fortunate, and the tickets went like crazy just to watch it on the closed circuit at the Spectrum.
Right.
And it's weird because I was looking at the dates, and the first one happened Madison Square Garden on March 31st. So 2 weeks from tomorrow would actually be the 40th anniversary. And it's on a Sunday, so it's wish they could have kind of pushed it that, but I think the Phillies had something to do with that. And I think Major League Baseball had the schedule out before that. So it's it's an exciting time. Like I said, 40 WrestleManias. I'm actually going to be able to go live. Although $2,000, if somebody offered me $2,000 for the tickets, maybe I would consider selling them. But again, it's something that I want to share with my daughter, and like I said, I was fortunate to get a pair of tickets for $300, $340.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm gonna be sharing with like my friends. It's gonna be 10 of us going, like with my friends and my family, taking my wife and my stepdaughters to watch WrestleMania live. That's
you can't put a price tag on experience.
Yeah. Like I've been to some of the pay-per-view events like Money in the Bank, others, but like to go to a WrestleMania, it's like I said, it's once in a lifetime. I couldn't pass this up.
No, I totally agree, no doubt. So, Bill, you got a busy week. You going to WrestleCon any other days?
No, fortunately, I gotta work. But I'll have WrestleMania weekend and the Monday night after WrestleMania.
Oh, that's good. Those tickets are pretty cheap still for Raw, right?
Think so.
Yeah. But that's always a big night too. Thinking about getting tickets for that.
Raw after Mania. Yeah.
Well, now I didn't think I could go to NXT. Now I kick myself for not getting a ticket for the 3.
For Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but I was like, that'll be a long day trying to do that on a Saturday.
Yeah, you're going to be so pumped up though. You're going to probably wind up.
I mean, just getting there and and trying to get out. I was like, if I were to go to NXT, I would just be tailgating for 2 hours until WrestleMania starts.
Did you get up at 5 o'clock for?
No.
Me and Bill were warriors, right?
I
I
was up.
told Bill, I said I accidentally set my clock for 5:15. He said, you know that the wrestler, because I worked that day, and the only match I really, really wanted to see was the women's elimination chamber. Bill said, "You better set that clock early, 4:55." I got up, got to see the match, and
Yeah, I think the women had a better chamber match than the guys did.
definitely was a better show. I think the women's matches overall were better.
Yeah, and I was just completely surprised how much the crowd was cheering for Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, well, she's an Olympian. That's why. Didn't she compete in Sydney?
Uh,
Picture there.
may have, I'm not sure.
She's more impressive than I thought. So what do you think they're going to do with Jade? Do you think she's fighting Bianca or?
I don't know. She still hasn't signed that contract, quote unquote. So I don't know if they're gonna wait till after Mania just to put her on full display. Because I figure at this point, like maybe her and Bianca would have had a match, or like
Yeah,
her and
they really
Nia.
built it. Sorry, they built it up during the Rumble, and then just nothing happened.
Yeah, it's either either somebody's like she's not ready, or who knows what the case is. Because like the time I saw her in AEW, like I wasn't like really impressed with her matches. I mean, I understand, like what they see in her and all that. I just hope that they can polish her into like a rising star and not something that's like like a shiny new toy and then disappears. Yeah.
Well, I did say this. I think, Bill, I said it to you. I think she suffered some sort of injury in the Rumble.
And
That hit that she took, and I think they're just keeping very quiet on that head hit that she took.
let's
I
go
can
back
see that.
talking about Austin.
And we can talk about Jade.
Oh,
So, what's your? I might have missed it. What's
All
your biggest Austin moment?
what about all the times he stunned his boss, Vince McMahon?
So, you would like to do that to your boss? That's
Maybe.
what I heard.
Who do you think Austin has the most times being arrested?
No,
I think he has the record
you
Oh,
think?
he's got to have the record. He's been
easily.
arrested so many times, week after week. He
Easily.
was such a great dude.
So, do you think that character would work in today's wrestling?
Who do you think Austin will have a great match with in today's wrestling?
No, I'm just saying, like his character. Like, if they were going to develop a character now like that, do you think that it would work?
Absolutely. But you don't want to take from what Austin already had.
No, I'm saying if they say there was never a Stone Cold Austin,
Okay.
and you tried
We
because I kind of think Austin Theory tries to do something like that. I don't want to say he's doing something like that, but
Theory's no BMF.
That's
He's
what
no
I thought.
BMF.
That's what I thought. What Kevin Owen was when he first came up, and like I was
Yeah.
like, I said, this is the new modern day Austin. It's like you love to hate him. When he first started, and he just reminds you so much of him.
For me, I've been to a lot of wrestling shows. Indoors, one outdoor show at WrestleMania 33. That was the only outdoor wrestling show I've been to, like for WWE big name events. But Austin, he has the biggest pop of all time. He was the loudest pop I ever heard, and he talks about, and everyone else talks about the Road Warrior pop, the LOD pop. But no, his blows LOD and the Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom, away. His was
Mhm.
much louder, so it should be called the Stone Cold Pop. When his music hits, that breaking glass, you hear
Hits.
that breaking glass? Oh my god. The crowd erupts. When I've been there, it shakes. The building
So,
shakes. It's great. Like
so when somebody drops something in the supermarket, you think Stone Cold's coming out?
that's
Somebody
right.
dropped a bottle
coming
of salad dressing.
coming out of the milk cooler.
Nobody like I've seen Hogan, the Road Warriors live. It's just nothing compared to Austin's pop.
You don't think Flair gets the same kind of pop?
No,
Yeah.
I've seen him multiple times. No,
No.
I when he showed up when I went to the last AEW show in Philly,
Yeah, it was where
I
with
I,
the.
I did get goosebumps because I didn't think he would show up there.
Oh, I got
It was
more
a nice
goosebumps
surprise. But
when Sting came out.
yeah, but there's nothing like that Stone Cold pop. Nothing. It's so loud, you feel it. It's just raw. It's very raw.
So I hope we see it night 2.
I hope you too. I'll be home
Yeah.
watching.
We'll have a sign for you, Willie Tiny.
Three Wills.
Make sure it's pink.
Free Willie.
Three Wills, a wrestling podcast.
So where's the other two? The other Will.
Will to Throw was on earlier. I'm not so sure where Big Will's at right now. He's been invited, as everyone's invited. What about that time? The infamous shove from Mike Tyson. That was leading.
When Tyson was the referee.
Yeah,
Was
but it was the promos leading up to the match.
Uh,
Yeah, that's unforgettable there. Like to have the baddest man on the planet like come into, WWF at the time, like that was a big deal for those two to work together.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, yeah, I got another picture here. I found very funny. It says, "Love is not 143; it's 316."
That's a good one.
I got so much love for 316 on this date. I got a tattoo
Nice.
inspired.
By the Attitude Era logo.
It's hard. It's hard to get it on camera. Ugh.
There
There
you
we
go.
go. It also has more meaning to me. It just so happened to be my narcotic-free date. That's Clash 2 together.
Ah.
I guess we lost. Didn't we lose them? Oh,
yeah, that was
There you
nice.
yeah. Who knows? I'm
But I
very
just thought I
proud of.
can't do a text message. One.
Yeah, I'm very proud, and it happens to fall on my. I had a problem cocaine years ago. Today is 19 years for me clean from
Nice.
cocaine.
Congratulations.
It's a blessing. So 316 is always a piece of my heart.
There you go, Bill.
Share it with Austin.
Nice.
Well, I guess we could take it out. I got a comment that from Dan who gave me the idea of the show today. He says, "What about the beer bash and the Rock throwing Austin over the bridge?" And he touched on that earlier.
Yep.
Oh man, good times.
Good times. I always enjoy Stone Cold being around machinery as well.
I think we touched on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's do one more thing here.
What did the DM say?
All right, let's hear this. This is the Disturbed version. Ah, such great music it is. Oh,
I can't hear it.
I wanna.
You hear it? Phil, I think
Did you hear it?
You can hear it.
Ellie Willie, did you hear it?
No, I didn't. I
No?
thought I heard just a small clip, but
Yeah, that's all it is. I don't want to get in trouble. All right. Thank you for your time, Acknowledge. You have a great day.
You
have a
too.
great day.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
We the ones.
Well, it was nice he could join us.
Yeah, not bad for last
Music and
minute there.
pictures. All right. Well, let's hit our music and take it home.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
All right. This is Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. Yes, another wrestling podcast. We're signing off.
Right, everyone have a good weekend there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast said so.
Yeah.